2020 is a very exciting year for Bennington Community Theater for several reasons. The first is that for the first time ever, we are doing 3 productions this year, including 1 musical. So we'll have a show in February, in May, and then later in the year in the fall. We're also very excited because we are incorporating Bennington Community Theater into the Baker Street Breakfast Club's Year of Mystery. The local Sherlock Holmes Society is partnering with us for that each one of our productions will be a mystery. Community theater and mystery plays go very close hand in hand. In fact, one of the earliest productions of Bennington Community Theater was Arsenic and Old Lace, which may not be exactly a mystery, but it's certainly mystery adjacent. So mystery theater and community theater are natural partners. So it's very exciting that we're participating in the Year of Mystery. I'm particularly excited in the way in which we're participating in the Year of Mystery because each one of these productions represents a different kind of theater experience, something different from anything that Bennington Community Theater has ever done before, and a different aspect of what mystery theater means. So our first production in February is a play called You Have the Right to Remain Dead, written by Pat Cook. This play is an interactive mystery comedy drama. And it has a play within a play, and the audience will be involved, and there's lots of fourth wall breaking, and I think that everyone who comes will have a great time. So You Have the Right to Remain Dead opens February 21st and runs that weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There are 4 performances. For each one of our shows, we have 4 performances, Friday and Saturday evenings, and Saturday and Sunday matinees. You Have the Right to Remain Dead is being directed by a Bennington College student named Ellery Schiller, and Christine Decker, the Oldcastle actress and Bennington Performing Arts Center education director, is serving as an assistant mentoring director for Ellery on the production. So we're very excited to have the chance to work with a Bennington College student here at Bennington Performing Arts Center and Bennington Community Theater. In May, we will be doing Bennington Community Theater's very first musical production, which is Clue the Musical. Yes, based upon the board game Clue the Musical, with music by Galen Blum, Wayne Barker, Vinnie Martucci, and lyrics by Tom Chiato, and a book by Peter DiPietro. Based on the board game Clue, ran off-Broadway in 1997. Clue has run all over the country to rave reviews. It's a lot of fun. Again, something totally different from what we've ever done before, and it's theater as a game. Everyone who comes will be invited to participate in playing a game of Clue. And then we'll be wrapping up the year with a production that I can't say what it is quite yet, but we are looking at a Sherlock Holmes play for the fall, and so that it will round out our Year of Mystery, which we are very excited about for Bennington Community Theater. And so we hope to see you all in the Bennington Performing Arts Center in February, in May, and later in the fall.
So we were looking for mysteries, and with community theater, the more people you can get involved, the better it is. And this actually involves the audience. And it involves the audience where they get to ask the actors questions and the actors get to ask the audience questions. And it's really funny, and it's a cheesy play, but it's a play within a play within a play. And the more I read about it and the more I thought about it, and also the title, You Have the Right to Remain Dead. Every time I told people about the play, everyone laughed when I told them the title. And so I told Mark, who's the head of the community theater for the trustees, and he liked it, and I got the play and he read it, and I was nervous about it, and then I started reading the play and I was like, this is something. And then We found the director, who's a Bennington College student, who is brilliant and has her own ideas. Ellery comes in, and you never know when you have a new director, but Ellery is solid on that. And as far as deciding to be the producer, a lot of stuff goes through me anyway, so I figured I have this. The set's going to be simple, costuming's going to be simple. It's just the marketing and the ticketing, which I do well anyway, so I have that covered. But I think this is going to be fun. It's fun for the actors. It's going to be really fun for the audience, because the audience gets to really have fun and play with it and hear things, and they get to have an opinion, and they get to see if they can figure out who did it. And we'll see if they're right. I mean, that's the fun thing, to see if you can guess who the murderer is before we reveal who the murderer is.
Well, what have we learned? Do you think you know who the victim is going to be? You're probably right. And the murder is about to take place in the very next scene, as a matter of fact. I guess I may be overstepping my bounds a bit here. But I've been to these shows before, and to be brutally honest, they do not play fair. They never tell you who the people really are. At the last minute, some character appears who no one has heard of before. Some policeman begins a spiel about forensic science, using terms no one understands. And of course, my favorite, suddenly the person you thought had been murdered isn't dead after all. He miraculously appears at the end, having survived being hung by the neck. And watch out for blackouts. That's when they turn out the lights and then run the real clues by you, yelled from the back of the theater, or muffled entirely, or they change the murder weapon, or it disappears entirely, ending up in some potted plant that no one has been near throughout the entire show.
I think we missed the point where you're coming out and kind of, so at the bottom of 22 is where the king of the crook is, and that's where I want you to go and try and grab him.
Okay, so I'm totally not getting when you want me to come out.
She wants you to come out 3 times essentially.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So the first start coming out at like you're probably right, like that's when Blanche would start to realize, all right, you're off lines that you should be on, and then you come out perfect what you did with the little mumbling and the cross, and then where there's the cane with a crook at the bottom of 22, instead of a cane with a crook, it's Blanche's hands.
Yeah.
Coming from
Where it says a spiel about forensic science using terms no one understands, that's when you're starting to sneak in.
Yeah.
Very bottom of
Okay.
Parnell's line.
Yeah.
Forensic science. Okay, so where should I be when he's saying that? Should I be?
That I need to be way over here.
Yep.
Yes, you'll be over there.
So I'll be kind of coming in here, and this is when I'm like trying to grab at it.
Yeah, you're just trying to like grab
But
it.
he's
And
walking
I'm just
away.
kind of
And you're just,
sidestepping.
sidestepping it. You'll sidestep, follow until you're like, okay, it's too far on stage. And you can
Okay.
make that call when Blanche would feel he is too far on stage. And then the other thing I want to say, since we're just pausing now, Parnell, you can take up the back space as well. So you can pace in front of there, but you can also pace on, like,
Behind
you can be
too.
bigger with it. Yeah. I'm torn between wanting Parnell to have like a barrier between the audience that the rest of the characters don't seem to have versus like going up and talking to audience members.
Right.
So this first time, you're probably right, and the murder's about to take place the next scene. In fact, I want to step out and just kind of stare at him.
Yes.
He feels me, leave, right? Say a prayer and leave.
Yeah.
So then now I'm listening a little bit further back here. When he starts with about forensic science, that's when I want to try to come out and try to start following him half steps forward until he gets to about, and my favorite?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can come out a little bit earlier in that line then. Actually, you come out at like some policemen maybe.
Right, so
So doing those half steps and then stop before the O in my favorite.
kind of go back at Owen, right?
Yeah.
That's,
There's a point where you're just gonna like give up because he's doing the side steps and you're like, okay, I
Got it.
can't get up at this point. And and then at some point you're going to have enough of it, and then come back and pull it on. And you can even stay like, don't be coming from that right door, like come from directly right stage, and you can even stay kind of like on stage where the audience can see you.
So kind of reacting. And then only to end up in a potted plant, so kind of like in the middle of that part where no one has been near through the entire show. Is that when I should start to try to grab his arm, or too
No,
early?
you're coming out, so he gets to finish that line, so you do it the entire show, you come on quick now. Now you're like, okay, I have a plan.
You snatch it.
Okay, so right when he's saying the entire show.
Yeah, and no one's been here the entire show, and you're like, quick on that, and you're like,
So do you want me to grab him and kind of come this way with our backs, like which way? Or,
so he's gonna be there. I don't want you to spin him around you, but I want you to spin him around. Does that make sense? Like if I was,
do you want, yeah, show me
yeah,
that.
you'd be
That would
Marnell.
help me.
So
Okay.
if I'm,
So he's here?
so if you're standing there, I'm gonna be like, spinning you around. Does
Okay.
that work, or wait, can I, does it work if I cross over and grab the other one and sit around? Does that look? Because I want her to just yank him around, but I don't want her to move all the way around. I think that would be cool.
I think that would be, so
Yeah, I think
I
that
want to
would
grab
work.
his left,
If you grab his left
sleeve,
and just yank him.
and then we just
So
kind
you're
of
just
walk.
holding hands. Here, I'll do it and see what you think.
Yeah. It's what
Okay,
it looks
so
like.
Marnell's blah, 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 blah.
I'm hardy, you can do whatever you need to do. Got him, and we're around here.
Blah, 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 blah,
And
blah.
that spins
Okay,
it.
his
Yeah, yeah,
back
except
and my
you're-
face.
No, both your backs are gonna be there. But yes, that pull, but then it's gonna be like this. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. So
Oh,
both
so
your backs
no,
will
no
be
one's
this.
gonna see the face at all.
No one's gonna see faces.
Okay, so I'm Marnell, you grab me.
Okay, so
Right,
grab,
Now you're both
Oh,
back to
and
the
now we're both
audience.
this way.
yes, and we're gonna be like blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly.
blah,
That's
blah,
all
blah,
like.
blah, blah.
Right, then I
Yes.
smile at the audience
Yeah.
and look at him, I back out and he turns back around, right? Okay, gotcha.
They never tell you who the people really are. Then at the last minute some character appears whom no one has heard of before. Some policeman goes into a spiel about forensic science using terms that no one understands. Oh, and my favorite,
So at no one understands, that's where you do your big and exit.
No one understands.
And no one understands.
So I'm not at O and my favorite.
You know it's
Yeah. Oh, and my favorite, you would be off.
You already
Okay,
got
gone by then.
Yes.
Okay.
they never tell you who the people really are. Then at the last minute some character appears whom no one has heard of before. Some policeman goes into a spiel about forensics. Too much.
Oh, sorry.
I just need to be able to do
it. Like,
goes into a spiel about forensic science using terms that no one understands. Oh, and my favorite, suddenly the person you thought had been murdered isn't dead after all. He miraculously appears at the end, having survived being hung by the neck. And watch out for blackouts. That's when they turn out the lights and then run the real crews by you. Yelled from the back of the theater, or muffled entirely, or then they switch the murder weapon, or it disappears entirely, ending up in some potted plant that no one has been near throughout the entire show. Yes, I understand that. I thought they might like a little insight. Oh, you wouldn't do that, would you? Yes, but... Yes, but... Yes! But... Yes. Oh well. To continue. Scene 2. It is later that night. Before the arrival of Attorney Devil.
Nice. Good. I think we got that moment. Where you yell in the back of the air. You can even like move your body up and down a bit more because you're very like evened. Or, what were you gonna say?
Pompous.
Pompous. I mean, you are very pompous, but you can like don't be afraid to like bend your knees, move yourself around, shape up your pace. I know that Harnell is very like structured, and so you want to keep yourself like very straight and even, but because you have such long monologues as an audience member, it'll just be like a lot of monologuing. So like, don't be afraid to change up your pace, change up your tone, that kind of thing.
I just mean, after Fat Daddy makes out his new wheel, somebody here will be out in the cold. Maybe all of you.
I don't know, he just does something to me.
He's done something to Fat Daddy, too. Notice Fat Daddy said the announcement included him, too?
I caught that. Yes, I did.
And also, he's right about one thing. Somebody had better do something before tonight. Before Fat Daddy gets a chance to make out that will.
You mean before he sees the one that's in there now?
I do for a fact. One of us had better take steps.
One of us.
Yeah. But who?
Got big plans for that, do
What
you?
the? Savannah, don't do that. Light of my life.
And just how did you get that gun away from Fat Daddy?
He finally dozed off in his favorite chair. And I believed him in it. Wouldn't want it going off accidentally.
And, other than his pockets, just what else has he been through? Say maybe his account books, where you've been squandering his investments and then hiding it with your knack for numbers.
Or maybe I was replacing all his jewelry with fakes to cover up the ones you had hidden.
Well, which is it?
Neither. Couldn't find his jewelry or his account books. I wonder why.
Maybe Sweet Mama got there first.
Sorry.
Well,
Oh, okay, I understand. I put my notes in the wrong spot. We must be circumspect in our actions.
If that means we need an alibi, I'm going to the movies. At least, it will look like I went to the movies.
What?
the desk is probably right around
Yeah,
there.
this could be like right on
Oh, I put this on.
Yeah, you're, now you're
What?
at the desk so you can put all
Yeah.
your stuff
Why? This is for the feature plan tonight. Where did you get this?
From Buford down at the picture show. He'll do anything for me.
And I seen him do it too.
What do you mean, sneak around spying on your betters?
Oh, I was supposed to be here, remember? Fat Daddy requested my presence. And what for? I can't imagine. My. How do we suppose Fat Daddy's ever let this out of his greedy grasp?
I didn't want him to hurt himself.
Now, I figure that's your job, ain't it?
What are you children up here? What are you children doing in here?
Nothing, Sweet Mama.
Maybe that's okay.
Wait, no good, sweet mama.
Sorry.
Don't let them con you.
You got lost.
Yeah, that's all right. I love
They was up to no good, sweet mama. Don't let them con you.
And just what was you up to?
I was up to this pistol, ain't it, Otto? How Fat Daddy has lost track of his prized horse pistol, and here I found it. In some same room with the lovers there.
What is the meaning of this? And where's Hyacinth?
She was outside a moment ago, looking at some electrical journal or something.
No such thing. Why would I be up there?
And just what did you think he would do with Fat Daddy's gun?
Sweet Mama, we was just about to.
Yep, perfect.
That has gone out.
Yeah.
They really did. Left them the whole way around.
Perfect. I mean, that was actually like a really, really good run. I loved the way you guys were doing your little sexy talk there. Stay close to her right up until that neither point. So
Okay.
there was like a point where you kind of like, I think she was behind you or something like that, but then you
Yeah.
guys ended up facing each other before that, and just kind of stay like a little bit behind, holding him, that kind of thing,
Okay.
until that moment where that breakaway is very abrupt when you do that in neither. But I love the way you guys doing it. I love the cross with the movies, all that was good. Sweet Mama, the way you changed your tone for the Where's Hyacinth, perfect. Loved it. And same thing with the electrical journal. Highest when you enter, just come like all the way to it as quick as possible. Yeah, otherwise, perfect. And you're not going to do that last little bit because it's confusing. It would just be me telling you guys, and you're going to run through this aisle, and you're going to run through this aisle, and we've got no aisles here, so it's not, it doesn't make sense to do.
And then Brianna was asking us, I can't stop.
Were you gonna
Just what do you think you would do? You're talking, are you asking us, because then I respond. Or is she asking Hyacinth for something?
Well, wait, where are you talking?
Sorry, the very top of
26.
Oh, that would be to Cleat, because he's the one with the gun there.
And what
Yes,
do you think you would do
I
with
like
that guy's gun? But Savannah is
Oh,
responding.
I was just about to tell him that, same thing.
Right, because you're responding to the earlier thing where it's what are you children doing here essentially, and you're kind of just like
nothing.
huh? Yeah, you already said nothing, but you're kind of like she's talking to Cleet, why do you guys guys in? But you're coming up with something else because Cleet, like you guys have the gun. Cleet got the gun from you. You don't want him to answer saying that he got the gun from you guys doing all the like he's saying what he knows, so you're trying to cut that off at the source. And now also Hyacinth's in the situation, so you're trying to cut everything off at the source. You're just essentially trying to make sure that no one answers except for you because
Can
you're
I
the
go,
smartest person
can I
ever.
go to them? Because like, I feel like they're.
Yeah.
That are.
You can go to because what's going to happen is there's going to be like that lights blackout, and then everyone's going to be moving in aisles, so it's going to be very confusing.
Relax, this going out. Like no one's gonna know.
It's great. It's fun.
It's supposed to go out?
Yes,
Huh?
I think this.
I think
This
they
is-
are, yeah.
Oh,
the
they
lights are
must be
supposed
going
to go
out.
out
This is part of our.
because
Yeah,
like
because
the gun and the gun's supposed to fire 5 times. There's no weapon only
And
fires
that's
4.
what
But this is
this
like
is
what
bad.
it is.
Down, 2.
Relax,
Um,
this going out.
I'm like the cue one.
You guys are gonna be running through theater aisles and fun
But
stuff.
I'm staying on stage, right?
Yes, I am not going to make you run through any aisles. Don't worry.
No, because I think I'm
No,
just
you're
gonna
gonna
let
stand
them back up.
the lights come back up here.
Right, because you're at the fun pit.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Hyacinth's gonna run down and then Savannah's gonna run down while Hyacinth's in the back, and then like it's it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And that was great. We got through like pretty much all of the southern bits. That part we'll just kind of talk about, and then when we get into the actual space, we'll go through it because it is just literally you guys running through aisles.
Well, my character is Fat Daddy. He is a southern gentleman who rules with an iron fist. And my character is David Marr. I really love community theater. The way people come together, and I've been doing it for probably about a year, a little over, but it's fun coming together and working on a craft that is more than just one person. It's nice to be able to come together and do something bigger than you could do on your own. And they've been really professional, and just it's been so much fun. It's like a family where they come together and do something special.
Play I've ever directed. No directing experience whatsoever. I have a little bit of experience. I've done theater education in the past. I work with an organization called Philly Young Playwrights, where they go into schools and help children pretty much tell them like your ideas matter, your words matter, and teach them to write plays or monologues kind of about the stuff that they want to put out into the world. So that's my main theater experience, and I've also done some playwriting and some producing like Philly Young Playwrights plays, so not like full productions, but sort of staged readings is what I've done in the past. So this is my first like real play, yes, and first time directing, absolutely. This play is a really fun piece. It's, you know, a murder mystery spoof. I think it's a lot of fun. I think the play within a play is a lot of fun to play with because a lot of the characters mirror the characters they're playing, so there's a lot of fun stuff that you can play with that. And I especially like the audience participation aspect of it. I've been playing around a lot with not just having them interact with the audience during the scripted moments when they're with the audience, but actually getting them out in the audience even earlier than that, going through the aisles, being able to kind of make eye contact with a lot of different audience members, shake their hand, like ad-lib some stuff with them. I think that's the most fun part of the play, is really just getting the audience as involved as possible. because at the end of the day, theater is like it's a participatory art, you know? Like, I mean, I guess most art forms are, right? You can't just like look at a painting. You have to really, in order to appreciate a painting, you're participating, you're giving something to it. And I think theater's the same way. As an audience member, you don't want your audience just to sit and look. You want them to really kind of participate and put their own thoughts and their own reflections into it. And I think that's one of the fun parts about this play, is that you're really asking the audience to up that participation to the point where they are like part of the play. Bennington College, I'm a junior. We have no majors at Bennington, so my plan, what we have is a plan where you design your own path of study. And my plan has changed a bit over the years. It's currently playwriting. What is it correct? It's currently playwriting, philosophy, Judaic studies, and education. Because they told me that I couldn't say that drama was my major because I hadn't taken enough classes that aren't playwriting, but that's a separate thing. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing at Bennington. This is my fieldwork term. It's my 3rd fieldwork term. I'm doing, because you have to get a certain amount of hours, this isn't my entire fieldwork term, I'm also working on writing and directing and producing a play with my synagogue that I work at, Israel Congregation of Manchester, and so with them later on in the month I'm going to be working with them on like teaching kids like different improv games, how to build a character, how to write a character, and then we're going to be doing a play about Passover. So working with Israel Congregation of Manchester is part of my fieldwork term, and then the other part of my fieldwork term is working with Bennington Community Theater directing this play.